What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lieutenant Nathaniel Flint of the Landship Scorpius, and today we're going to be talking about the last Rivet Wars update we got and kind of summarizing another video that I did that was too long, a little bit rambly, and is a little late now. So I'm going to try to keep this much shorter, but the timestamp down below will say if I succeeded or failed. First off, the last update we got was 43 at the time of recording of this video, which was April 30th, 2024. I'm recording this June 2nd. Happy Pride Month, people. So my last video was a lot of things. So let's start with the facts. We got bad news. That's the fact. More delays. I was right. And sadly, usually when I'm right, it's about bad things, and I don't like that. So they gave us a whole bunch of reasons. Not all of it lines up, but they pushed it off again. What they're saying is that they believe that they are on track with what they have. Right here, the quote. Let's take it direct. Assuming no major issues arise during this process, then your pledges will be ready to ship out from the factory in August for delivery to begin late Q3 of this year. We will keep you updated with each step along the way. So it's being pushed back again to this generic late Q3. Lucky for us, doing this video after, I'm redoing this video at a later date, is we do have it. So I brought up that, is this Q3 is in the year Q3, like the third quarter of the year, or is this Q3 like a company's monetary Q3? So this could mean as late as December or January. So Jamie from Steamforge Games was able to give me a direct quote here. Fair question. In this case, we mean Q3 as July, August, September. So a lot of people are hoping this means August, but according to this, late Q3, and let's be realistic, is probably late September specifically. So September was when the Kickstarter was, so all those years later, we might finally start getting fulfillment in fingers bloody cross September, which means based on how fast shipping is, that could be getting it in October, November, or December, I guess, in time for the holidays. Again, I can't be optimistic anymore. So my last video had a lot of feelings, and I kind of did a wax poetically about a few things. I think that it's not important for an information video, which is, I mean, I'm the only one that's doing it. There hasn't been any Rivet Wars information videos or anything. So the important thing is getting this information out there. They promised to keep us updated with step-by-step stuff. We did get some pictures of some of the proofs, and we got to see that, like, he pointed out as an example, the vert tank is incorrect in the proof, despite them going back and forth on it for a little bit. So, like, they're struggling to get this corrected. But it should be corrected and fine. Hopefully soon, hopefully by now. And then they were showing off some of the cool mold stuff. Now, I am super interested in the behind the scenes stuff. Like, for instance, we can see the bottom of the, like, base molds that we have little Steamforge game, like, plaques on them. So underneath each thing is going to be a little Steamforge game gear. That's super cool. But it's hard to get excited for that because it's just another quick update with bad news, and it's more time spent, whatever. So let me not get lost in basically the rant or the pleas of the video that I'm redoing. Let's keep it concise. So part one is going to be that I was super annoyed that we were promised basically monthly updates and probably multiple times a month. But there has been multiple times throughout the course of this post-Kickstarter life where it's been, let's be kind and say it's been more than 30 days between updates. They seem to flip-flop whether or not they do it on the first of the month, or whether they do it in the middle, or whether they do it at the end of the month. For a while, they were able to point with very little exceptions to, look, we have technically released an update every single month. But that's not always the case. And leading up to this one, where the community was getting riled up, upset, things were not adding up, and we knew that delays were coming, and we wanted communication. And these are the types of delays that would have been known a long time ago. You would have known that you weren't keeping up with that old timeline. Those were things that we just want to know. And it feels like it was being hidden, like it was purposefully being hidden from us. And that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel right. Some of the conversations are like, you're not entitled to every little scrap of information that could possibly be had at all times. But I mean, that feels facetious. Like, that's not what people are asking for. We're asking for communication. And there's a lot of instances in which this isn't happening. And that brings me to part 2. We were delayed quite a bit throughout the summer. This was supposed to be the summer of Rivet Wars, and it's not. Once again, pushed back, and everything is screwed up. So one of the things I pointed out is how there hasn't been any social media on the Rivet Wars front. The Rivet Wars Instagram and Facebook and Twitter are dead. Absolutely quiet, especially since there's an entire Rivet Wars YouTube page that is dead. I am the one that feels like often alone doing social media outreach that should be done by the Rivet Wars team, like talking about, like doing little reveals of the character art that we got in the PDFs, and kind of giving oftentimes nothing. But again, it's not my job, but like, it's one of the things where it's like something as simple as just releasing some character art each day, releasing images of each model that we had released, which I only have access to from the small amount of PDFs and work in progress details we had. You're the creators who have all of that. You could be releasing little image art. You could be releasing little things about like, hey, here's a more finalized work in progress of this character's card. You can see that from the feedback we got from the work in progress PDFs, we have done these changes, or this was something that needed to be worked out as things got QA'd more and more. You could do something cool with showing how you attacked, oh, well, these are the old models, but we did a full refurbish. Like in Rivet Wars Reloaded, like these are not the same molds. Like they updated all the models, and sometimes with the side-by-side, like with the Rifleman, you can see that like there is an increase in detail. Like there will be an increase in quality. And just talking about how you approach that, did you start with the base model, or did you recreate the models going up? Like you could do a bunch of videos talking to the modelers, talking to the artists who recreated Ted's unit artwork. You did talk about how important the old like war cartoons were, and we did see some of those with the Nemoans. So you could talk about how you went about like recreating that style, and you have Nemoans, you have a whole faction. You can talk about how you looked at the other two factions and the updates you wanted to make to those other two factions, and how you approached designing and coming up with a whole third faction. And in theory, Jamie has talked about all the great things that are to come with Rivet Wars. I mean, the Kickstarter's over. Fulfillment, hopefully, knock on wood, will be soon. In theory, you are working on whatever comes next in Rivet Wars. You could be teasing that. You could be talking about what you're doing to approach the next thing of Rivet Wars. Like, there's a lot of stuff you could be putting up on the YouTube, on the whatever. Heck, if you want, there's stuff that you could just say, oh, the Rivet Wars YouTube isn't worth it. So put it up on the Steamforged Games YouTube that you are putting videos up on. Like, there's just some stuff. It really feels like Steamforged Games does not care. They are whatever the next big thing is. They are Kickstarter, 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 and that's what they have. And every so often, they have a fulfillment where they're like, this is out now. Remember this game that took a while to get out. So here's some stuff for that. But it seems like everything kind of just drops off into nothingness because it's like, we got your pre-order money. We're working on it. No need to develop a hype train for retail. No need to do whatever. Like, we've already decided whether or not we care about this IP or this property based on the pre-order sales, aka the Kickstarter. And it just feels weird. So I also mentioned that, like, I had reached out to Steamforged Games for a lot of these ideas. Let me interview people. Let me interview these artists, these sculptors, these whatever. Let me talk about what you went into QAing, what you went into redesigning these things, what you went into doing this. Like, what was the thought process? And post basically these kind of hype videos for them leading up to fulfillment and thus retail sales. And haven't really been met with anything, just kind of not with anything. So this will be that call again, hopefully in a shorter video, where Steamforged Games, if you're worried about I'm just some no-name, no subscribers YouTuber trying to profit off of your work and your IP, then let me do the interview. I'll even like do up the editing and give it to you to post on the Rivet Wars channel or the Steamforged Games channel. Like, the important thing is getting this content out there. I truly am a mega fan, not in it for the clicks or for the views. I really care about having the content I would want to see as a fan out there in the world. That's really what I want. I know I'm not this big board game YouTube channel that's going to bring in the clicks or the money as much, but like, I really hope that I am putting this IP in a good light and trying really hard to support it. And I just feel like with more resources, like being the studio making it, you'd be able to achieve more videos or achieve more stuff along with your updates. I hope going forward we'll get more updates, straight up. Getting things that are like, this is how we reacted to your feedback for the work in progress PDFs. This is how we work. Like, this is what the proofs look like. I don't know. I'm starting to rant a little bit, so I wanted to keep this shorter. So let's get off it a bit. So where do I, as Landship Scorpius, go from here? So I mentioned that these are cool. I do want to go through this. I have thoughts. I do want to go through these like I would all the other behind the scene videos. I do like behind the scene content. So I will probably do a short video doing that in the future. I also thought that it was a waste of time to do a video on the work in progress PDFs this close to fulfillment and retail when we don't know what has changed. But since it's been pushed back so far, I will most likely do a video on like the action cards I think I didn't do from the work in progress stuff. So like there's other videos that I will try to do. However, if they're not really giving us updates, for instance, at the time of this video, there was no May update. There was no updates in May. We did not get anything. So like, there's only so much I can do, and it's a lot of work keeping up the hype train by yourself. So with bad news and bad news and bad news coming out every other week, I don't think I want to be on here becoming a rant channel about Rivet Wars. So I will do my best to make videos on positive stuff. When fulfillment happens, I'll be like an unboxing and things, obviously. And I do have my thoughts on the Rivet Wars Kickstarter positive and my thoughts on the Rivet Wars Kickstarter negative kind of video, where I'll get into a lot of these same themes of communication letdown and under activity of the wait times of the Kickstarter and of everything else. I do think those will be things that I'm going to do at the end that I was going to do. So that way it wasn't so negative, and like while we're in the hype point, while we're in the not fulfillment leading up to retail, it was just positivity so that new people who are looking for information on this effectively new game, Rivet Wars Reloaded, especially since all the activity is bringing a lot of new people. I'm very happy at the amount of new people who are coming to the channel, who are talking on the community places, which are down below in the description, talking about finding Rivet Wars Eastern Front and getting into the game and asking questions about how do they get the expansions and stuff. Like, when this game hits retail, I do believe there will be a new generation of Rivet War fans who are excited about the project and the IP. So I do want there to be positivity and hype leading up to that moment. But I also am like what this video is. You can only take so much negative, so much bad news, and so many missed months, or so many like, yeah, we got an update every month, but like you've maliciously chosen when to release those updates so that it's longer than 30 days between updates. And some of the updates have not been updates at all. So it's like those situations are like, hey, there's things that could be better. There is negative to point out, but I do not want you to think that I do not appreciate or love this title and this game, and am appreciative of the fact that you are reloading it and bringing it back into the gaming sphere after a hiatus. So yeah, so for now, that's really all I wanted to get out. I really wanted to keep this video shorter and make sure that it does finish. I had all this stuff about how I really believe that this IP could go far. Like, I truly believe a Rivet Wars video game could do really well. I do feel that a Rivet Wars, like the comic strip things, are cute and could keep it alive on its own. Like, I really do think the world and the IP, Ted Terranova did a great job making something that fits. I don't think that steampunk, and definitely dieselpunk, does not have this kind of representation out there in the world. I do think that this is important and valid and good. Like, it's, how rare is it for just a random Kickstarter game to be this good? Especially a game that merges board games and the wargaming market in such a great and like acceptable way, like for the outside to get in. I really do love it. I have a lot of passion, and I want to see it succeed. And that'll be it for this video, because I really want to get it out. I'm going to be doing a few other things, but I really want to get this video out quickly. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. I'm hoping within the next few weeks to do the action cards video, and of course something short reacting to these. Steamforged Games, just try to keep up with updates. Even mundane things you don't think people will care about are cool behind the scenes content that don't take all that much time to put together. And you do have sources who aren't on your payroll willing to help. Like, in the end of the day, I'm willing to help design or do posts or whatever. I mean, there's there. So if you're a Rivet Wars fan, down below, there are links to where all the community pages of where Rivet Wars is being discussed. People are sharing a lot of their game aftermaths, their experiences getting into it, their paintings of minis. It's starting to feel like Rivet Wars season again. So if you have paintings, if you have cool board gaming setups for your Rivet Wars stuff, or if you have just gotten into Rivet Wars with your family, share those things down below. Share pictures of your painted minis. Make sure to use hashtag Rivet Wars to ensure that other Rivet Wars fans are seeing that cool new content. And keep an eye on this channel for Rivet Wars content. I do generic steampunk videos here, so do feel free to subscribe. Also, feel free to subscribe to Steamforged Games areas based on their prior posts. It is a lot of new Kickstarter, and honestly, a lot of them look great. All the minis are top notch. All of them are super top notch, and like their D&D like epic encounter stuff is amazing. I invested so much in Rivet Wars, I can't jump into those. But like when money starts coming my way again, the epic encounter stuff is very cool. So there is a lot of cool stuff. And then when we get closer to retail, there'll be more Rivet Wars stuff as well. So I'm super excited. So I will see you guys in the next video to try to keep this short. Bye-bye.